Okay, let's move on now to the Scrum team and the different accountabilities in a Scrum team. So Scrum team, here some repetition already. It's self-managing as cross-functional. So again, nobody tell a Scrum team how to work and what to work on. And they have all the elements or competencies necessary in a team to do the work by themselves without being dependent on others. There are no sub-team or hierarchies. Again, everyone in a Scrum team actually should be at peer level. They are small in size. Recommended size is 10 people or less. Responsible for all product-related activities. Again, that's cross-functional part. The Scrum team should be structured and empowered by the organization. That's often a point which is neglected in Scrum. So we launch actually different Scrum team, but there would be some functional managers who maybe, interfere with the functionment of those Scrum team. There are 3 accountabilities within the team, which are product owner, developers, and Scrum Master. So formerly those one were called roles. Now they are called accountabilities in the sense that a developer could also be a product owner and or developer could be also as well a Scrum Master. Or sometimes the accountability of product owner and Scrum Master sit on the overall, team. Okay, so now product owner. Let's have a look at this accountability. So it's all about defining the what, and the goal of a product owner is to maximize the value of the product. So his or her role will be to select the product backlog items. So the items in the product backlog, which are going to be the most valuable to the customer, the one delivering the most value to the customer in potentially the shortest amount of time. So namely, this also means that the product owner will need to develop and explicitly communicate the product goal. So you have the product, but it should have, a goal that you want to reach with this product. He or she will need to be able to create product backlog item and clearly communicate them. It is to note that the product owner is not the only person who can create product backlog item. This is actually open to all, but he or she is the person who manage the product backlog. He's he's accountable for managing the product backlog. So meaning ordering of product backlog items, probably by values and time, is one of his or her responsibilities, and making sure that the product backlog is transparent. Again, this refers to the transparency pillar in Scrum. It needs to be visible and understood by all. The decision of a product owner must be respected by the organization and by the team. It's a one person and not a committee. So you want to have a one single person accountable for the value of the product. And this is actually the product owner. Okay, the developers are the one who decide the how. So how to do it based on the what of the product owner. So the product owner will select product backlog items that the team need to work on during sprint planning. There is an element of negotiation, of course, between the developers. So there is possibilities to influence the content of the sprint backlog. But once this is decided, the what needs to be done, the developers will decide how to do it. Therefore, the developers create a plan for the sprint. They create the sprint backlog, which constitute of the sprint goal, the sprint backlog items or product backlog items selected for the sprint, and also a plan on how to achieve that, how to complete the sprint backlog. So developers will make sure that they instill quality in their work by following a definition of done, which either the organization or themselves together with the Scrum Master and Product Owner will have set up. More on definition of done will come later in this video. The developers adapt their plan each day towards the sprint goal. So during the sprint, the developers, during the daily scrum, notably, they will check, are they progressing towards the sprint goal? And do they need to change their course of action in order to reach a goal? And they hold each other accountable as professional. So there is no manager in Scrum. The product owner is not here to overlook the behavior of everyone. On the contrary, we are expecting the developers to hold each other accountable as professional. So here again, it's referred to the Scrum values such as respect and openness. Okay, now the Scrum Master in all of that, so he acts as a coach for the overall team, and he's here to promote and support Scrum. So he or she will make sure that Scrum is established in the team as defined in the Scrum Guide. He or she is accountable for the Scrum team's effectiveness. So if you have a team which is underperforming, look for the Scrum Master first, because he or she is probably not doing their job properly. The Scrum Masters are true leaders who serve the Scrum team. That's their main role, the product owner. So in helping, for example, to creating the product backlog item, ordering them, communicating with the stakeholders, making sure that the product owner understand how to deliver value in a shorter amount of time. And the Scrum Master is finally need to make sure that the organization understands Scrum. So why will we need that? Because the Scrum team, in the course of their work, they are normally, independent, but it could be that at any point of time they will run into obstacles which are created by the organization. And here the Scrum Master is here to facilitate, let's say, the interaction of the team with the rest of the organization, making sure that the rest of the organization understand what a Scrum team is, how they work, and how can they facilitate or help the work of the Scrum team.